I'm almost certain. Comes a lot.
Just in case.
Which book's that?
No, they signed up that.
Oh, right on. No, I
He's
know.
running
No, I know all well. You're in close proximity. How many signatures are you up to?
I just two of us.
From what? Which book is it?
It's a 21. 15 or
Well, good afternoon all and welcome to St Patrick's College Silverstream via Huddy Sports and the St Pat's Old Boys Association Facebook pages. We are here for an important first 15 traditional between St Patrick's College Silverstream and St Patrick's College Town. St Pat's Town being on the field by their captain Stefano Paiasi in their 22 today. They have a very strong team out here against a very young and inexperienced Silverstream side. Fullback is Fretti Annie Brown, the wingers 14 Salagi Agostino, the 11 is Herman Siu Mangufai, the midfield is Samuela Tafau, and 13 is Boston Christie. 10 is Christian Steinhaus, 9 is the captain Stefano Paesi, 8 is Ronaldo Siu Mangufai, the strong number 8. Year 12 at St Pat's Town, 7 jerseys Cove Mahi, 6 is Xavier Bell, 5 is Bradley Christ, 4 Rory Woods, 1 Noah Galafau and his brother Moses in the hooker jersey, number 2, and Siali Luwake in the free jersey. In the reserves we have Jason Siu Mangufai, 17 Michael Talau, 18 Brandon Young, 19 Tom Welsh, 20 Malachi Tia, 21 Tavita Tafili, and 22 is Kaya Wilson. As you can see on the right hand side of the camera over here, the Silverstream team are going to enter through the traditional tunnel that the students here at Silverstream form. At every traditional they play here. The Silverstream team today, at fullback is Kobe Joe Vulu, 14 is Connor Scandal Helton, 11 is Rayhana Dalton, 12 is Riley Higgins, 13 is Rocco Berry, 10 is Lockie Forbes, 9 is Rory Willett, 8 is Peter Lucky, 7 is Mitchell Subble, 6 is Jacob Betty, 5 is Akira Idemia, 4 is Marco Venter, 1 is Julius Masoi, 2 is the head boy at Silverstream, Luani Ambusan, 3 is Mika Phillips, 6 is Ignatius Seo, 17 is Jonah Bartley, 18 is Robert Ross Stead, 19 is Toby Crosby, 20 is Charlie Nathan, 21 is Michael Martagi, and 22 is Sean Crawfield, and their coach is Tim Mannix. The coach of the St Pat's Town first 15 is Nalu Liatu. Our officials for today, referee is Jack Sargentina, and referee, level 1 referee here, Premier referee. He refereed these two teams in last year's Premier 1 semi-final at Pairua Park. Assistant referees Jamie Fairmaid, another level 1 referee. Referee the Jubilee Cup semi-final, with Wainui won in the last minute against Oriental Rongotai, and AR number 2 is Ronan Marks. It's an extremely important game here today for Silverstream. They need to win to try and secure a home semi-final with 2 rounds to go. For St Pat's Town, got all their games so far, sitting first on the table, but their last 2 round robin games are against, of course, Silverstream today and also Scots College next weekend. Joining me in commentary today is the ever-experienced rugby commentator and guru, Adam Julian. Adam, pleasure to be here with you at Silverstream today. A very important game for both teams.
Well, look at this setting, Brad. There were 2 reasons I came to school. 1 was to watch rugby, and 2 was to eat my lunch. And this is a panoramic view of this wonderful occasion, the 82nd traditional between St Pat's Town. Historically, Silverstream have dominated this fixture. They've won 62 times as opposed to Town's 19. But Town are top of the table this year, unbeaten, 7 wins in a row. Silverstream, they suffered their first loss in 28 games in the Premier Grade a week before the school holidays against Scots College. Scots College aren't at the top of the table though. In a quirk of proceedings, Scots lost points for fielding an ineligible player. They've got so many scholarships they've lost count.
Well, they certainly have, Scots College, and there was a game beforehand today. It was the Old Boys rugby match, and St Pat's Silverstream Old Boys won that game 29 points to 7 against the depleted St Pat's Town side. St Pat's Town just had enough reserves, but they were not so good against the 2 Waldron brothers, Scott and Thomas. So we'll take a break here to observe the Huckers No doubt David Walsh will be out there if they go past 10 metres.
Go boys!
Hold on to your egg sandwiches, folks. It's about to get busy here at the Silverstream #1 field. The huckers are completed. There was an edict written out this week by Referee Education Officer David Walsh about teams approaching over the 10 metres. And he is out here in force. Lucky he didn't run out there, Adam.
Well, what a beautiful haka that was, led by the Silverstream winger there, Rehania Dalton. He's a McKevity Shield sprint champion and a leader in the Kappa Haka community. And the hakas at this school have come a long way. Brad, you and I used to hide behind the curtains.
Well, Adam, when he was year 13 or 7th form in our day, when you're told
Let's
to
go,
touch the
Noah!
ground, Adam taught them to pat the ground. First 5, Lucky Forbes is about to get out of the way here, kicking down to the south towards the pavilion. There's also Old Boys Day here at Silverstream. The Old Boys are out here in force in the pavilion. There'll be more Silverstream Old Boys here, hoping to see their alma mater do very well. And referee Sargentina blows his whistle and we're underway. And the ball is received there by Moses Galafal. Outside the 22. Ronaldo Silvagufai. It was a strong game in the traditional gets going to college. A strong season around. Stefano Passi. The box kick at the back. The greatest one, but it's gone just over halfway. Fullback there, Vulu. Just lost contact with the ball, but the Silverstream managed to regain it back. Willock's playing halfback. It's a loose pass there by Silverstream. A bit of a messy start. And Town holding them up, hoping to earn the turnover. Silverstream have done enough. Willett gives it out to Betty. 5 metres out from their own 10-metre line. Silverstream under pressure here early on. Vital game. Silverstream 6 wins. Almost intercepted there by number 5. It's actually Rory Woods in 5. And it's a penalty for offside against St. Pat's Town.
Well, that would have been a dramatic start for Rory Woods. His father, Peter, is actually on the staff here at St Pat's Silverstream. Rory Woods is a year 12 student and has been a regular starter in the line-outs this season for St Pat's Town. No score. This is traditional day on Huddy Sports. We're broadcasting via a live Facebook feed. Don't tell Rupert Murdoch. Sky are across the road.
I can tell you there'll be a lot more humour in this commentary. As the head boy, Luani Amul-Sun, is going to throw the line out. 5 metres inside town's half, and it's a good take there by Rory Woods. But Silverstream have still got it, so it's developing to a maul. This could be turned over, but no, Silverstream have got it. Willett out there to his number 8, Lakai. There's a good strong run there by number 4, Marco Vinta. His third shot put at McKevity Shield this year. Out there, number 12, Riley Higgins, and Higgins still going strong, centre field. This is promising stuff here by Silverstream. That's a good offload there to number 5, Romeo. He's got options. He's got it. Silverstream scored the first try of this traditional through the red heat himself, halfback Rory Willett.
It was a beautiful offload by the loose-head prop Marsoe in a two-man tackle which created the space. Urumia strode inside the 22. It was quite clever in the way he set up that try. He had a winger unmarked heading towards the corner, and he had Willett the right option. Willett taking the ball and getting the touchdown closer to the post. That's an ideal start for Silverstream, a 5-0 lead.
Well, the key there was Akira Urumia, deputy head boy here. He's part of the tournament team of the Volleyball Nationals this year as Lockie Forbes Verts. And it is now 7-0. The first 4 minutes of this tradition.
And Urumia comes from very good pedigree. His father, Alama Urumia, was a classy All Black centre, and really he showed the value of pedigree right there by holding up the pass, drawing in the last defender, and then distributing nicely to Willett, who's had a habit of scoring tries this season. He got one in the last traditional against Palmerston North Boys.
Oh, just about that traditional, Palmerston North Boys. Silverstream got out to a big lead, but still lost. As we're back underway, as Christie kicks it deep into the 22. Peter Loaki charges up over the 22. He's met by the St Pat's Town defence, led by Xavier Bell. His brother, Dominic Bell, was in the team last year. Rory Willett marshalling the troops. It's been intercepted there by St Pat's Town, but they have knocked the ball on. So a bit of a high pass there by Willett. Needed to keep it low and a bit more structure there, Adam.
Well, there's no breeze here really this afternoon, Brad, so perhaps the better option for Silverstream was to kick the ball into town territory and pressure from the line-out. Their line-out started well against Palmerston North in the previous traditional year and then capsized badly as they stumbled to a 21-15 loss. In fact, the referee, Jack Sargentina, was ruled a knock-on by St Pat's Town, so that was a little bit fortunate for Silverstream, who were slightly ambitious in that attack. Jack Sargentina evidently is an old boy of Wellington College, and he officiated the final last year between these two sides, 129-22 by Silverstream.
Willett gets the ball out to Berry, and that appeared to be a high tackle, and it has been awarded. So a penalty against St Pat's Town. It's giving away 2 penalties so far in this match. St Pat's Town just need to address their tackling technique. They have got some very strong players, but in their traditional against Wellington College, Adam, you were there. They got 2 yellow cards in the first half for dangerous action.
Well, they played like kamikazes in the first half an hour and were down 17-0 against Wellington College, and despite being the bigger team, were on the receiving end of 2 tries. But just before half-time, crucially in that game, Herman Siumanufungai, the beast on the left wing, scored a 40-metre try, swatting aside half a dozen defenders to draw St Pat's Town back into the game, and then they steamrolled a struggling Wellington in the second half as Silverstream introduced the ball to the back line, and Berry makes a clean break, and Higgins has it at the 10-metre mark. Hulu, 10 out from the 22, Brad.
Well, Silverstream hot on attack there. Good run there by Vulu. Burns the ball out to Mitch Suville. Mitch Suville, who won the line out previously before. Willett digging deep. Gives it out to Lakai, the number 8, who's been prominent so far in this game. Willett back out to his number 3, Mika Felix. That's a good ball. It's been called a ball. Can Silverstream get it loose, or otherwise it's got to be a turnover by St. Pat's Town. And it is. So good defence there by St. Pat's Town, right on their 22-metre line, Adam.
I like the cut of Peter Larkey's jib. He's only year 12, very sturdy frame and a powerful ball carrier. And each carry in this game thus far, he's managed to advance the ball beyond the advantage line. Scrum time will be very interesting this afternoon, Brad. St. Pat's Town have 2 year 13s and year 11 propping up their scrum, while Silverstream are an experienced front row with the head boy in the hooking jersey and Felix at tight head prop, wanting to study criminal justice. So that really shows that props are the smartest boys in the team.
Well, this is going to be a facetious scrum. It's a free kick against Silverstream for going early. So St. Pat's Town inside their 22. It's a free kick, so they can kick it out into touch, but it will be a Silverstream line out, or they can have a scrum inside their 22. Paesi has told Boston Christie in the 13 jersey his instructions. Looks like they're going to go attack and go this. No, Boston Christie taps it and kicks into touch. And that's a good, nice deep kick. Well past the 10-metre line inside Silverstream's half.
That's a brilliant kick by Boston Christie. He's pretty much peeled off 50 metres, transferring the ball from 22 to 22. Boston Christie is from the Polarua area and actually suffered a broken leg in his previous history, so he's recovered very smartly from that setback.
He was pretty good at English class too, Boston Christie, as Silverstream won the line out, but has been ruled not straight by referee Sargentina. So this will be another St. Pat's Town scrum. 12 metres inside Silverstream's half, and a very important position here. Can St. Pat's Town use their backline, particularly Augustino and the tank himself, Herman Siumangawhai?
Well, Siumangawhai is way out on the far side, so he's unlikely to receive the ball in the immediate instance, but Town have a very powerful midfield, and they're likely to employ either Christie or Taufua. The halfback is Setefano Paesi. His brother played first 15 rugby at St. Pat's Town.
Steinhaus, but it's a loose pass. So it's lost forward by Town, and Silverstream got the ball. It's gone backwards. Silverstream hot on attack here with their winger, Houghton, right on the far side here. A good tackle there by the St. Pat's Town forward pack. Under pressure early in this game, 7-0. St. Pat's Town work on their defensive systems. A bit loose in the first 5 minutes. Subble there, betting a tight tackle. Willett with the box kick at the back. It's gone high. It's going to be contestable. And it's a good take there by the Silverstream player, Adam.
Beautiful leap and catch, and now Silverstream have the numbers on the left. Higgins trying to wriggle past Christie. Is dragged down at the halfway mark. Sargentina is swift on the whistle this afternoon. That's a penalty for Silverstream.
Clear release. Referee Sargentina has ruled. So yet again, the third penalty against St. Pat's Town of this game. Silverstream, Adam, they've had they were hit by the flu at the end of the term too, and had a number of players out, but also injuries as well. And it's good to see Riley Higgins and Rocco Berry out there, two players that have missed a number of games this season.
Well, Higgins broke his thumb in an early season match against Napier Boys High School, went off at half-time in tears, anticipating that his season was over. He showed a lot of bravery to recover from that setback and resume his position in the roster. But Silverstream are missing another key midfielder today, and that's Tony Solomona, the year 11, who was outstanding in the Palmerston North traditional, scored a try and has a very bright future. Silverstream have won the line and boxing their inside the 22. Iramia tenaciously fights to within 15 metres of the line. Lakai again, tackled by Nullaval, 10 metres out from the post. This is stubborn, patient and organised attack by Silverstream. Only 5 metres separating Silverstream in a second try. Rory Willett was the first scorer, and now he's furious because the Silverstream forwards have held on, and that was good work by the St. Pat's Town number 8 there, Ronaldo Siumanufangai extracting the turnover.
Siu Mangufangai, who is the cousin of Herman. Herman Siu Mangufangai came from the islands in 2016. Samoa that was, and I used to call her the smiling assassin when I was teaching at town, because he would have a big smile on him every time he would say hello. He's a lovely gentleman, but he is a damaging rugby player.
Oh, very much so. I watched Town play Manakura on Friday, and Siu Manufangai scored 2 tries in that match, and he was a menace off the back of the scrum. Really caused a lot of trouble for Manakura, the new Māori establishment from Palmerston North. Silverstream have pilfered another turnover here, Brad, and they have the ball 40 metres out from the town line. Forbes is the first 5/8. That's a somewhat aimless kick, although it's awkward at the back for Christie, and it's dribbled through by Higgins. Higgins leading the charge to the ball, stumbles. There's a dive at the line, and a try for Berry, who pursued after Higgins and won the race to the ball.
Wow, knock on there by the fullback, Ferretti Anai Brown. He's a talented player, but he couldn't control the bounce of the ball there. The ball is cruel, and the ball was kicked through by Higgins into the end goal, and Rocco Berry jumps over the top and scores. St. Pat's Stream, second try here. 12-0 is the scoreline, with about 15 minutes gone.
And of course, it was a genius kick from Forbes. He's completely proved me wrong there. Clean bowled the fullback, and Silverstream have pounced and scored a beautiful try for Rocco Berry, whose father was an All Black in 1986, Brad, and interestingly only got a test appearance which lasted 18 seconds. He came on the field for a kickoff, the ball went out on the full, and that was the end of Berry's test career.
And Berry is successful with the conversion there, so it's now 14-0 here at St. Pat's Silverstream. Stream in front of their brother school, St. Pat's Town. St. Pat's Town started as a school in 1885, and in 1931, when they decided to move the school out to Silverstream, it was going to be the original school, and at the last minute, Adam, they decided to keep town open, but everything had been moved out of the old college, and so they had to start from scratch, and there was argument, Adam, that actually St. Pat's Silverstream is the real St. Pat's.
There's a similar argument here today too, Bradley. Sky Sports not the official broadcaster.
Yes, Hardy Sports is bringing this to you live and free. That's the way it's all going, folks.
Well, that's the key word. This is a free broadcast. If you buy the rugby channel, it's $9 a month. Now, that's 9 children in Africa that you can give $1 to. Think about that, folks.
Some wise words there from Adam Julian. It's a new world we're living in.
Just $1 a day makes the starving go away.
We do teach good Marist values at our times at both St. Pat's schools. As Silverstream have the scrum here because the ball went into touch on the full. And so Rollets will feed the scrum centre field. 14-0. It's a strong scrum by St. Pat's Silverstream. Taken by Luaki. Willett gets it out there to Lockie Forbes in the 10 jersey. Forbes still on his dancing feet. He's been impressive today. But it's a penalty against Silverstream for coming on the side. It appears Sargentina has picked up Saville for coming on the side there in the 7 jersey.
This has been an awful start by St. Pat's Town. They've fumbled from lineouts. They've fumbled from general play, which led to the second try, and then they kicked the ball out on the full. So that penalty was a real relief for the visiting team. Last year in this traditional fixture, Brad, Silverstream won by a record score of 52-10. I'm not suggesting that will happen this afternoon, but if Town don't reorganise themselves swiftly, this could get very ugly. This is a game that historically they've struggled to win, most recently in 2010.
Well, that's right, and the scorelines in the traditionals really since then have either been close or they've been massive as the ball is kicked downfield by Silverstream and chasing back his first 5, Christian Steinhaus. Steinhaus, who's a talented sportsman, kicks straight into the Silverstream player, and so Silverstream get the ball back, and they are centre field. Willett appealing for a penalty, but Sargentina's not having it, and it is a penalty against Silverstream. Holding on is the call. Very interesting decision here for St. Pat's Town. Haven't really entered Silverstream's 22 at all, but they have an opportunity here through Christie's boot. Take the line out, but what should they do? Should they really use their forwards to drive it up at them, or should they give the ball out to their powerful back line? But unfortunately, it hasn't gone into touch.
Well, St. Pat's Town do have an obvious size advantage, so instead of attempting to play expansively, perhaps they'd be better advised to keep the ball close to the ruck and try and bludgeon some holes close to the Silverstream defensive forward situation. This kind of play here, Brad, this is a better method for St. Pat's Town to try and infiltrate Silverstream, although they've just conceded a penalty.
It's a penalty for holding on. They have been at the brunt of Sargentina's whistle. Sargentina, who is for Wellington College, and as we know, Wellington College aren't the greatest fans of Catholics. As the ball is kicked into touch, and that will be a line out just on the 10-metre line on the far side of the number 1 field here at St. Pat's Silverstream. The systems for Silverstream today have been going very well. Beautiful conditions here. The weather reports earlier in the week with a foul weather, but today is a stunner of days. The ball has come out to Luaki. It's gone out there to Rocco Berry. Rocco Berry strong in the tackle there by Tafau. Willett gives it out to 6, Jacob Betty. Jacob Betty, who played for the first 15 last year. That's offside there by number 8, Ronaldo Siumagafai. The referee has called advantage for that. He was too fast up. Ball there to the lock, Venter. And they Silverstream march over the 10 metre. It's a good run there by number 7, Saville. And he gives it back out to Willett. And Sargentina is coming back for the offside penalty, Adam.
And Silverstream will seek a line out. The kick would be 40 metres on the fly, which neither boy in this team can kick. Mitch Souther was in year 12. He's one of the senior players in the team, though, Bradley. He was in the squad last year, which won the Premier 1 championship. His brother Josh is an old boy of the school. He was a New Zealand secondary schools representative in 2017, but missed the entirety of his last year at school with a very serious knee injury. He's back playing for Upper Hutt, and the Rams are having a more fruitful season because of his involvement. Silverstream attacking line out on the 22. I've been very impressed with the start of young Iramir. He's been prominent in the air, and his cleaning out and carrying has been very strong. Silverstream have overthrown, though, on this occasion, and Nalaval strides 5 outside the 22 by Essie. The clearance is made by Stenhouse. Number 10 for Silverstream is Forbes. The bounce is favourable, but recovered by Stenhouse. That's a good Catholic kick there, right off the left boot and into touch at about the halfway mark.
Oh, a good passage of play there by both teams, and a good clearance kick there by Silverstream, and so it'll be a line out, 5 metres inside their own half. Interesting thing here about points between both teams. Silverstream have scored 310 points and conceded 77. St. Pat's Town have scored 211 prior to this game and have had 80 points scored against them. So a notable difference there. Silverstream like to attack more. Ball comes out there. It's been knocked back by Steinhaus. Steinhaus gives it out to Christie. Christie offloads it to Augustino. Augustino is brought down by number 12 there. Higgins, and a good tackle. Setafano gives it out to his number 4, Bradley Crichton. His brother Sanasco went to St. Pat's Town. It's also part of the first 15. Number 6, Xavier Bell, marches forward. That's a good run there by the number 6. Silverstream pleading for a penalty. Ball comes out to Setafano Paese. Is met there again by Crichton. And it's a penalty, and it's a double blast of the whistle. Jacob Betty could be in trouble here, Adam. Double blast of the whistle. Obviously, some sort of cynical infringement, but Mitch Saville has been called out here. One of the things here is we're able to listen to the referee's decision about penalties. We do have one of his mentors here. And Adam Julian's eardrums were blown away by the power of the whistle through the comm systems there, Adam.
That was louder than an AC/DC concert. They really blasted my right ear there. Evidently, there have been repeated warnings for offside by both teams, so if the whistle of Sargentina continues to interfere, there might be further sanction and a reduction in the playing strength of the respective outfits. St Pat's Town in their best attacking position of the game. They've really struggled, but they're only 10 metres away, Brad.
Augustino with a good run there. They're under pressure. Crichton gives it out to number 3, Luwake. Stefano Paese is looking for options. He's found Rory Woods. His brother attended St Pat's Town. Is a good golfer. He's currently playing golf overseas. Stefano Paese gives it out to Crichton. Driving forward. This is good work by St Pat's Town. Number 6, Xavier Bell in the action. Stefano Paese passes out to his left. Out to Tafau. Tafau is met there by a good spot-on tackle by the Silverstream defence. But St Pat's Town still have the ball. There's a penalty advantage coming here against Silverstream. And the ball is being held up. Town marching over the line. Have they got there? No, they are short. Referee Sargentino allowing play. It's a good run, good charge there by St Pat's Town. Only a matter of a metre or two away. They pass it out wide. 14. Lucasino's been heavily involved in this passage of play. Paese, it's a low pass. They're going for the corner. Still held up. You are going to have to be like a forensic scientist to see the ball here. St Pat's Silverstream on their line. St Pat's Town hot on attack. They need to score here. No, the ball's gone to the touch. We're coming back for a penalty against Silverstream. Directly in front of the post, Adam. For offside, they tap and go. Steinhaus gives it out to Tafau Sabuela. Final Paese. Out to his number 3. Luwake. And Luwake scores St Pat's Town's first try in this traditional.
Well, we talked about St Pat's Town's greater size, and that's a good illustration of it there, Brad. Keeping the ball close to the ruck. Nice, crisp, short passes, and then using their bulk to punch through. And Silverstream have been warned several times for offside play and interference at the ruck. It's very difficult to extract the ball when the opposition runner has a low body position and greater strength. That is really an illustration of the way that St Pat's Town should continue to play this. Boston Christie with a straightforward conversion, and 14-7 after the first quarter. Given the terrible start that St Pat's Town had, is not a bad position.
Conversion successful by Christie. So 14-7 here at the traditional between St Pat's Town and St Pat's Silverstream. St Pat's Town just started to get into the work after a rocky start, but they've got their forwards going. There's been a real strength for them this season, and that will come vital in the second half. And Silverstream start to probably make subs. And some of those substitutions on their bench here haven't got a lot of experience in Silverstream. Riley Forbes with the restart. And it's a not so flash kick, but Moses Tafau got the ball, but he has knocked it on. So the restart works in Silverstream's favour, Adam.
Well, that's the second kick that Forbes has shanked that's worked out favourably for Silverstream. The previous one he mishit directly resulted in a try for Rocco Berry. It clean bowled the St Pat's Town fullback Arne Brown. Town are really the architects of their own demise at the moment. Far too much imprecision, inviting Silverstream into the game. This is a good attacking position for Silverstream. It's about 10 metres in from the embankment touchline, 35 metres shy of the line. Silverstream don't really have a crash ball merchant, although Berry is positioned to perform that task. He's the most likely recipient here, unless Silverstream choose to involve width. And they have speed on the wing. Dalton is a McEvity Shield sprinter, and Scannell Helton has been promoted from the second 15 in his last year of school.
Scrub now for Silverstream. They've been pretty strong at scrub time. Can they withstand it for the rest of the game? It's been a beautiful day here, but we've had 2 weeks of absolute atrocious weather. And in the weekend just been, it was absolutely pissing down. Bullock gets the ball to the back of the scrum. It's gone out there to Forbes. It's gone out to 12 Higgins, but that pass went forward, but the referees are still playing on. Very interesting call there, Adam.
Well, he broke his thumb, so I think he's been given a dispensation for that pass.
The Elder Graham Duffy, the rector, is coming up near our commentary box.
Do we have to salute?
I think you do. It's a box kick by Stefano Paesi. It's a good take there by the 14 Houghton. The other winger, Rayhana Dalton. It's a star at jumps, and it's a penalty against Silverstream for holding on. It's the third time that's happened to them in this half, Adam.
And that penalty count is really mounting against Silverstream. It's been an issue all season for the home team. When they played Wellington College, they won handsomely 30-15, but the penalty count in the second half was 12-1 in favour of Wellington College. So Silverstream really lacking discipline in their play, and St Pat's Town have a line out about 5 metres out from the line in a very favourable position for their driving maul, which they haven't been able to utilise yet. But if they can win clean ball, congregate together and drive nice and low, this could be an ominous situation.
Strong territory position here for St Pat's Town, 5 metres from Silverstream's try line on the far side of Silverstream number 1 here. Moses Tufau Navalao throw the ball in. Apologies, I'll get that right. It's been contested by Silverstream. They had to do that, but it has been knocked on. St Pat's Town hot on attack here.
Nullaval surging towards the line, extremely close. Held up by Southall. St Pat's Town resorting to that close quarter game effectively, and now kicking wide for the wing, and Town have a second try. Well, that was very nicely executed by Stenhouse. He made a left foot clearance about 5 minutes ago, which sailed 40 metres, and now he's hit Acusatino precisely, and Town are within 2.
14 points to 12 here. Augustino, a fantastic try of the quarter there. Cross kick by Christian Steinhaus. He was the sole try scorer in this traditional last year, Adam, and that demolition that Silverstream did against St Pat's Town. Steinhaus has also been a cross-country runner. He's a star athlete. He's got the best Broncos score in the team. And he avoided Scots College to play for them this year and stayed loyal to his Catholic school.
Scots couldn't catch up with him after the Bronco. Boston Christie with this conversion attempt. Tough chance, but he's an accomplished kicker. And that is a wonderful strike. Boston Christie levels the scores. 14 each. About 5 minutes to play in the first half.
14 all here at Silverstream in this traditional between St Pat's Town and St Pat's Silverstream. This coverage brought to you by Huddy Sports on Facebook and also with the St Pat's Old Boys Association. When the game was announced, it was going viral. Forbes gets us back underway. It's taken well by Stefano Paesi. Goes low to the ground. And it's a penalty against Silverstream for a high tackle. Number of penalties now starting to go against Silverstream. They're starting to just lose that focus at him.
And our cameraman might be able to capture an image here of the balcony. As Brad mentioned in his role as the president of the Old Boys Association, it is the Old Boys celebration today. And look at that balcony over there. Is it in shot, cameraman? Look at that balcony over there. I understand St Patrick is coming later to sign autographs. I've never seen it that full before. $14 is the score. This is Huddy Sports live on Facebook, which I joined yesterday. Nullaval is St Pat's Town's hooker, but Silverstream have stolen the ball. And they will attack from about 40 metres out. Willett to Lakai, this industrious number 8. Tackled by Crichton. Marsoe met solidly by Nullaval and pushed towards centre field. Forbes, delicate pass for Higgins. He was well contained by Christie. Silverstream 40 metres out. Rocco Berry has signed for the New Zealand Warriors next season. I was actually in town on Friday when the Warriors were playing the Sharks, and Berry was walking with the team, and a spectator in a vehicle wound down his window and shouted at the Warriors, kick a field goal this week, and they did that. Remarkable 19-18 victory against the Cronulla Sharks as Sargentina signals another penalty. And that is a ruck offence. So 14 all is the score. The last draw between these two teams, Brad, and this is a famous story in this traditional, was in 1986. It was a 20 all tie. It was Town's worst result that season. They were unbeaten in 21 games, held to a draw by Silverstream, and the two captains that year ended up flatting together the next year in Dunedin, and they bought a dog and they called it 20 all.
Well, I also know a certain Canterbury referee who studies in Otago. They brought a sheep as their flat pet, and it went everywhere. It went to Wanaka, went to Queenstown, it joined them in the pub. Unfortunately, they had to sell the sheep. I think it went to the meatworks, Adam, for some lamb chops. Just a bit of concerns here shown for a Silverstream player.
Scott's tried to recruit it and was successful.
Just a bit of concern here for the Silverstream player who took a bit of a knock there. So they're just doing a bit of head testing on him, asking him a series of questions. So where did Coventry City last win the FA Cup? And he appears to have passed his assessment, so that is good. I believe that might have been Iramia there who was getting spoken to. Asked a series of Maddox questions around head safety. It's very important for these young men, Adam, to make sure that they fit in well, particularly when they leave college and go on to their other endeavours, maybe go to club rugby or representative rugby, because the feelings around concussions at the moment is vital important to the game.
Pardon me? We should mention club rugby too, Brad. That was a bit cheeky of me. The finals are this Saturday, and there's a number of old boys on both Wainui Armada and Norse involved. Keenan Higgins, the older brother of Riley, playing second 5/8, will appear for Norse. In the Wainui Armada roster, Greg Leolofi is their captain. He was the first 15 captain on this ground 10 years ago when Silverstream beat Town 31-0.
Adam was still suffering from concussion from his karaoke on Thursday night last week. As we get back underway, St Pat's Town have the ball inside their 22. They won the scrum. Sergeant Tina Spriggs his wings. I think that's eligible for a chocolate fish fine. On the far side, outside the 22, Setafado passes it deep into his team, and they march forward over the 22. Only a matter of minutes left of this first half here. 14 all. This coverage brought to you by Huddy Sports as Setafado Paesi. Oh, it's nearly taken there by Brown. Brown just knocked the ball on, and so it'll be a scrub to Silverstream. That was yet again another enterprising play there by St Pat's Town, Adam.
And except for the try which was scored to tie proceedings, when's the last time the ball actually went to the far flanks for Town? Town are playing this very intelligently. They figured out the weakness of Silverstream, and that is their defence around the ruck. Town have greater size there, and monopolising possession and making it extremely difficult for Silverstream to utilise their strength in the back line. Young Rocco Berry, he was in the New Zealand Barbarians selection last year. That's only a level beneath the New Zealand team. A very impressive feat for a Year 12 student. Here is Rocco Berry sailing up towards halfway. He was hammered by Siu Manufangai. The St Pat's Town wingers hardly been involved this afternoon. He was in the Hurricanes under-18s camp, which played in Taupō against their Blues counterparts recently. Higgins shrugs away from Stenhouse. Tackled by Siu Manufangai. 5 metres inside the Town half. Rory Willett, like a mad dog, rucks the ball back for Lakai, taken by Crichton. Silverstream, with their chance to be patient and build momentum, have advanced the ball to the 10-metre mark. Nullarbor spoiling, but Willett clears. Iramir on. Forbes taken down by Siu Manufangai at the 10-metre mark. Only moments away from half-time. 14 all as Iramir strides into a hole. Links with Lakai. On it goes for Beatty. And he's 10 out from the 22 when stopped by Siu Manufangai. Yet another penalty goes against St Pat's Town. And, Silverstream rather. And that's really been the story of the first half for the home team, Brad.
Well, it certainly has been. They have just not been that dominant around the breakdown area, and they've conceded a number of penalties for holding on. As Christie looks to clear for touch here and gain some more ground. He's been very good with his boot today, Christie, and he just does that as well. And so there will be a line out on the 10-metre line inside Silverstream's half. Field conditions are very heavy here. Yeah, the players will have to be wearing their long spruks. Moses Nalufau going to throw into the line out. Both him and his brother Noah previously played water polo for the college. Moses throws the ball, and it's a good take there by Crichton. And St. Pat's Town have the ball here, deep in here. There's another penalty against Silverstream. Rory Willett is going red in the face. He's already got the red here, but he is on fire because he's not happy with Sargentina's decision there.
It's been a bit of a trial for Rory Willett the first half, especially after his opening. When he scored the try, he would have been on cloud 9. But now he's on the receiving end of both Sargentina's whistle and vocal instruction. St. Pat's Town with another line out inside the Silverstream 22. The Town line out hasn't been entirely spotless in the first half, but they've started to use Crichton at the front a lot more, and he's been very effective in coordinating drives.
St. Pat's Town have a very strong line-out drive, and once they get their forwards going, they create options. The ball's been thrown in, and it's been taken again by Crichton, blocked on there by Crichton. So an unfortunate mistake there by St. Pat's Town, and that is half-time here at St. Pat's Silverstream. It's 14-all between Silverstream and St. Pat's Town. Could say even half of rugby for both teams, Adam.
Well, I think Town are certainly beginning to wrestle the initiative. Silverstream scored 2 really nice tries to start with. There was a beautiful draw and pass from Iramia to put Willett away, and then there was the unfortunate mistake by the Town fullback, which was seized upon by Rocco Berry. But Town, after their indecision and miscalculations, have decided to resort to a close quarter muscle game, and they've managed to bludgeon their way through for their first try. And then there was a beautiful piece of play by Stenhouse, whose left foot looks very educated indeed, to pick out the winger and create a second try. Christie's conversion from the sideline was exceptional. So 14-all at half-time, which is in defiance of the recent trend of matches between these two sides. Silverstream with a significant advantage, though I should stress the last time Town actually did beat Silverstream wasn't in 2010. That's in this specific fixture. In 2015, they won the Premier 1 semi-final here by 23-20. They were down 4 tries to 1 at half-time, but managed to wrestle the initiative. And Xavier Numair, the Oriental Rongotai and Hurricanes prop, was a star that day. He scored a try from a Tony Woodcock manoeuvre at the front of the line. Now, this is Huddy Sports live on Facebook. And as you can see, it's a beautiful scene here at Silverstream with the old boys reunion today and multiple sports happening around these lush fields. Brad Hudson and Adam Julian are your callers today. And Brad, what does Silverstream need to do to try and wrestle the game away from Town's forwards? They need to accelerate proceedings, I feel. Quick taps, move the ball to the flanks, and try and run this Town team ragged.
Oh, they certainly do. They need to speed up around the breakdown. Loose, get those. Don't get into the contest at the breakdown of St. Pat's Town, because they'll just swamp you up, and they've shown that in that last 20 minutes of that first half. So they just need to get their loose forwards going, getting that ball out faster, and just working St. Pat's Town around, trying to get them moving. We saw that in the first few minutes, but they resorted away from that. So it's half time here, 14-all. We'll just take a bit of a breather.
What's your name, buddy? Ruth. Nice to meet you. Thanks for putting up with us.
I wonder how many members the Hurricanes are going to lose for next season.
Yeah, exactly.
no chance of playoffs. Not of a home playoff anyway.
Well, no, it would appear very unlikely, wouldn't it?
I'm actually going to sit beside Caroline next year.
Oh, nice.
So they are expanding the bronze area. So I sent an email saying you can go to aisle 23 if you want. So I sat beside her a few of the games, even though I didn't get my seat.
Oh, this way. Well, this guy here is Aku Satino. Akua Satino. Aku Satino. Aku Satino.
She said they changed something this year. The first 15 is no longer just on Rugby Channel. They actually moved it to
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
High Score.
I think they're disbanding Rugby Channel altogether.
Ah, guys watching one
Welcome back to Huddy Sports, bringing you live coverage of St. Pat's Silverstream versus St. Pat's Town. Craig Gerson is in the way of the camera. It's like a full moon. 14-all between these two traditional rivals. St. Pat's Town dominated the last 20 minutes of this first half, using their forwards effectively, and Steinhaus working his backline magic. Boston Christie's boot has been outstanding. Silverstream are trying their best, but they just need to stop getting into the forward confrontations with St. Pat's Town. But they need key players, such as their midfielders Berry and Higgins, to create magic. As Sargentina gets us back underway, Adam Julian's airdrop has been blown away again. It's a messy received by Silverstream, but they still have the ball. Centre field, 10 metres out from their 22. Willett gives it out to Lakai. Lakai had a strong 10 minutes in the first half. Willett gives it out to Beattie. Oh, sorry, that was number 4, Marco Venta. He's wearing headgear. And Silverstream being met hard by the stern St. Pat's Town defence. Number 20 is on for St. Pat's Town, Malachi Tia. You can tell it's Malachi Tia. He's wearing pink headgear. Saville gives the ball out to his loose forwards, and this is heavy defence by St. Pat's Town. They're really putting pressure onto Silverstream. A low pass by Willett to Mika Felix. Number 13 there, Berry brought down in a hard tackle. Silverstream struggling to get out of this 5 metre zone outside their 22. It's been staunch defence by St. Pat's Town. Their forwards been doing a great job. Number 6 there, Beattie, has got a limp. He's not looking too flash. We'll keep an eye on him. Silverstream starting to gain small ground here. Forbes gives it off to Saville. And Saville brought down in a tough tackle. Malachi Tia there. Just tackling hard. There's Mika Felix again. The medic for St. Pat's Silverstream has signalled a change. That is not good for Jacob Betty. So there's got to be a substitution coming on for Silverstream very early in the second half. Injury enforced, Adam.
Well, that's a real shame for young Beattie. He's a workhorse in the Silverstream pack and one of their options in the line-out too. So that's a bad moment for Silverstream early in the second half. Look at Lakai. He's carried the ball about 4 times in this sequence. He really is a fantastic ball carrier, as Willett is forced to clear after about a dozen phases, and it's awkward at the back for Ane Brown. He's covered by Dalton, and Town are 10 out from halfway and short at the ruck. Silverstream have forced a turnover there. St. Pat's Town was slow to convene at that ruck, and they were outnumbered 2 on 1, and Silverstream have poached a turnover to start the second half as poor young Beattie hobbles from the field. That's a sad departure for the lanky young man. 14 all, 2 tries each. Of course, this game, Brad, is a part of the Premiership, and the way the Premiership works for those old boys who are not familiar with the competition is you achieve 4 points for a victory and a bonus point for finishing inside 7 points losing or scoring 4 tries. Silverstream in all their 6 wins this season have accomplished a bonus point, as have Town, who are on top of the table by virtue of an additional win.
Scrum time for Silverstream. There have been strong scrums indeed for both sides today. The second half will be crucial to this understanding of how this game will continue to develop as Willett feeds the ball into the scrum. And it's strong by Silverstream, and Willett gives it out to Forbes. It's gone out to Berry, but it's been intercepted by Christie. Christie looking for options. He gives it off to Samuela Tafau. Tafau still going. This is exciting times, but the ball's been lost forward by Ronaldo Siumangufai, and the ball's been picked up there by number 19, Toby Crosby, who's come on to replace the injured Jacob Betty. Willett goes for the kick downfield. Arnai Brown running after it. He's got plenty of space. He tries to skip around. He's being brought down to ground and into touch. So finally some excitement at the start of the second half, Adam.
The curse of the intercept almost struck Silverstream in 2010, the inaugural season of Sky Sport First 15 Rugby. Ope Palesiuma, who was the Silverstream captain, New Zealand secondary schools representative, threw a late intercept in the game which enabled Wellington College to prevail that afternoon. And who could ever forget Billy Proctor's 2 intercepts in the Premier 1 final in 2015. Alakai with another determined burst, but an errant pass is poached by Steinhaus. So Town have an opportunity to clear. Boston Christie, who snaffled that intercept, wobbles it down to Dalton in the Dorothy Parker boots. Dalton accelerates to within 40 metres of the Town line. Silverstream ideally placed in centre field. Julius Marso, the loose head prop, he's been very impressive this season. His offload created the first try, and he scored 2 against Napier back in April. Forbes slung to ground viciously by Nullaval. Silverstream 14, Town 14, and it's a penalty. About 35 metres shy of the post, Rocco Berry. This is in his range. But Silverstream have signalled a scrum, and Brad, we expected St Pat's Town with their larger forward pack to have the ascendancy at scrum time, but Silverstream have held together firmly.
Well, they certainly have, Adam, but St Pat's Town have got some firepower to come on at scrum time, such as Jason Siu Mangafangai. He's the brother of Herman and the cousin of Ronaldo. He was a star in that St Pat's Town victory over Wellington College, even though he got subbed for striking. But we also have Talau coming on, also Tom Walsh, who's a strong flanker. And of course we've got Malachi Tier out there in the 6th position of the scrum. So definitely some firepower to come for St Pat's Town. It's a strong scrum by Silverstream, and it's a penalty for the St Pat's Town forwards pulling out. So it's another penalty here. You know, would they go for another scrum, Adam, or would you take the shot at goal?
Well, after that scrum, Silverstream have signalled another one, and that's a sensible call because at the moment they have both a physical and psychological advantage over their opponents here, and Sargentina has warned both teams for various infringements. If Silverstream can apply the furnace again, then perhaps Town might be reduced in strength. Number 19 has come on for Silverstream, and that is Toby Crosby, a Year 11 student, replacing the injured Jacob Beattie. What a moment for young Toby Crosby. His debut on national television and worldwide Huddy Sports.
Huddy Sports has been taking off this week, likes. It's been shared rapidly around the old boys community, both Town and Stream. Luwaki with looking for the offload. He's been brought down by Tia. Willett, wild pass out to his forward. Very hard to tell if the jersey's here because of the mud. It's not for the case of Silverstream number 1 this time of the year. That's Mika with the ball. Being supported by Willett. They approach the 22. St Pat's Town on defence here. Saville Subble charging forward, looks to offload it. He's got Higgins in support, but he's been brought down to ground. Berry goes for the offload, but no one's there. So he picked up by number 14, Houghton. And this is going to be a yellow card, surely, Adam, because the high tackle, it's not a red card, it's a yellow card, I think. But it's just slipped up and hit the head. And it's definitely been referees' high standard around head-high tackles the last 2 seasons.
Oh, poor Houghton, he's built like a popsicle stick, and he really got savaged on that occasion by Paesi, who's extremely large for a halfback. Jack Sargentina speaking with the Town 9 earnestly now. St Pat's Town are lucky, perhaps, not to concede yellow there. Let's go to the bunker. We've got Craig, who is authorising these decisions. He's refusing to speak to me. Not a face for television, but that's all right.
He'll crack the screen, I can tell you that. And it's the end of the road there for Scannell Houghton. Oh no, he's still on his feet. I thought they were going to substitute him, but he just looks a bit groggy, but he's got to stay out there. So the penalty there was a high tackle, but the referees ruled the player was going down at the time. So very lucky there, Setafado Pasi. Time off here as if St. Pat's Town are making 3 substitutions. They're bringing on the big men. Siu Mangawhai, Te Lau. And it also looks like... Just try to identify the player there.
Oh, goodness.
I think that might be Brandon Young, but hopefully we didn't hear that background comment. We apologise for that.
They brought on half the Kilburnie skyline there, St Pat's Town. They're very big, those reserves. And this is what happened in the Wellington College game, Brad. St Pat's Town were able to bring on a lot of ammunition in the second half and overturn a 17-0 deficit. But at the moment, Town are playing into Silverstream's hands by conceding senseless penalties. And there's a break by Forbes. Try-saving tackle was a timely intervention. Southall around the corner. Silverstream 10 metres out. Scoreless in the second half. 14 all after the first 35 minutes. Lakai, relentless attacker. And that's a try for Felix. He was like a scuba diver there, just wriggling his way through the furnace, and he's touched down for the 3rd try for Silverstream and the first in the second half.
19 points to 14. A good start there by Silverstream. They've been patient with the ball in hand. Worked the ball up well. They just earned a bit of a break there. Nearly scored, but they give it out to Masoi, who goes and scores a great try for Silverstream. Straight under the posts. We're just waiting for the ball to be converted by Rocco Berry, who's signed with the New Zealand Warriors, as Adam mentioned before. A vital try there for Silverstream. They needed to start the second half off well, as Berry strikes the ball and it's been converted. So excellent work there by Silverstream. 21 points to 14 here, the traditional between Silverstream and St Pat's Town.
And that burst by Felix was reminiscent of Kevin Mialamu, the great All Black hooker. Remember how Mialamu used to get low and his feet would pump like pistons? And Felix was so strong there, he had 2 players at least on his back, but he managed to retain his footing and essentially crawl over the line like an explorer at the bottom of the sea, removing shells. And that restart is like a dead pigeon. So Silverstream will have a scrum on halfway. Christie, Brad, he's been somewhat erratic in this game. He kicked a sideline conversion, he poached an interception, but then he's had moments like that which he'll be hoping don't appear in the Old Boys promotional video.
Now, there'll be a lot of editing in the Old Boys promotional video, I can tell you that, Adam. As number 7, Caleb Mapu has been substituted for Tom Walsh. Tom Walsh, who's a very talented forward. He's played for the Wellington Under-16s. He was MVP for the Under-15s in 2017. And Tom Walsh is a very talented sportsman. Where I was at St Pat's Town as a teacher in 2016, I was his tutor teacher. A very athletic young man. Silverstream have a scrum centre field. Been pretty impressed with the Silverstream scrum today. It's held up against these big town men, but now we've got those big town men on the field now. But it's still very powerful scrum indeed. Lakai at the back, and he offloads it. Excellent work at scrum time by Silverstream. They can be really impressed with that phase of their game, Adam.
Well, the scrum by Silverstream's been outstanding. They've won 2 penalties with that facet in the second half, but now Town have an opportunity to attack. Paesi has tapped it quickly. Number 19 for Town is Walsh. He's 5 out from the 22, and it's yet another penalty. St Pat's Town perhaps smartly avoiding the scrum and capturing Silverstream offside, advancing the play an additional 15 metres, and now setting up the possibility of a line-out or a kick. Although the way Christie struck that last one, it's not a likely option. So Willett has been penalised for Silverstream, and in fact Boston Christie, who hasn't missed this afternoon, is going to have a shot for goal. And on the subject of not missing, we should thank our young cameraman, Ruben. He's doing a sterling job. He's in year 9 at the college. And I tell you what, it'll be a popular catch when it's ball season in the future.
Well, he used to be at St Bernard's, Ruben. He used to be the infamous 8 and 9 class. There's only one teacher that could control them, and that was myself. Christie strikes, and it's good. It's very good. It's 21 points to 17. Silverstream over St Pat's Town. Probably a good decision there by Town to take a penalty, because there's still plenty of time left in this second half. And as we saw in the first half, the forwards, got the new forwards out there. They could actually start to put Silverstream under a bit of pressure over the last 10, Adam.
Precisely. They finished very strongly against Wellington College, winning that game narrowly by 22 to 17. Silverstream have had a habit of losing close games this season. 21-15 here against Palmerston North. They were up 17-0 against St Bede's and lost that one. So Silverstream will be anxious about the scoreline here. 21-17 they lead, and now Town have a penalty. 10 out from the 22, their own half.
Well, not only is it just rugby here today, we've had the golf, the road race, the Junior A basketball, the football Colts, the hockey first 11, badminton under 15A rugby, Senior A basketball, first 11 football, and the old boys rugby game. There's Town fine touch, 5 metres inside their own half from halfway. Number 17, Michael Talau, is going to throw the ball in here. In fact, actually the line out's going to be on halfway. No, actually it is going to be moved in. Both teams' set plays have been relatively pretty good. There's a good take there by number 8, Siu Mangawhai. There's a good charge there by Herman the Tank. Straight over halfway. Whana Paesi out to Ronaldo Siu Mangawhai. He gives it out to 5, Rory Woods. Rory Woods early in the season had a few injury concerns, but he's back out there and is fit as a fiddle. A good turnover there by Silverstream. Excellent work at the breakdown. That's what they needed to do in the second half, Adam, is to compete against St Pat's Town at the breakdown.
Precisely, they were guilty of conceding far too many penalties and turnovers in that department of the game in the first half. And here's another one by Silverstream, and this one's midfield, 35 metres out from the line. Now, we've hardly seen Herman Siu Mangawhai this afternoon. He's the most explosive runner in the St Pat's Town team. He scored a hatful of tries. I'd like to see St Pat's Town involve him here. He's stranded out on the left wing, but why don't they move him one more into centre, or even perhaps on that big blind side where he can use his bulk and speed to possibly influence this game in a favourable fashion. Herman Siu Mangawhai absolutely demolished Wellington College in the traditional that day. He scored a try and he set up 2 more.
Well, they did trial him at centre last week against Matakura College. And he was relatively quiet that day, but you couldn't blame him because it was playing artificial turf and it was absolutely horrible conditions. As the ball comes back out The Stefano Paesi. He gives out to Steinhaus. Steinhaus finds a gap. He's marching down the touchline. He's been brought down by Silverstream, just short of going into touch. Town on attack. This is the most promising they've had in the second half. Walsh with the ball. Walsh met hard by the Silverstream defence. Stefano Paesi reaching in. And it's a penalty against St. Pat's Town. Holding on. There's been a lot of holding on penalties, and that's a sign of both flankers and both teams doing a sterling job at the breakdown, Adam.
Well, if Silverstream go on to win this game, Charlie Nathan might be an unlikely hero. The reserve halfback rushed across and made a try-saving intervention on Steinhaus, the Town pivot. Charlie Nathan is in his final year at school, but he's only built like a jockey from across the road at Trentham. Very brave play by Toby Crosby, and St. Pat's Town have a line out to concede on halfway, and Hermunsen will throw the ball. Now his older brother too was the head prefect at the school, a great Wairarapa rugby family.
Hang on to your seats, folks. This is going to be exciting. 21 points to 17. Silverstream over St. Pat's Town. Midway through the second half. It's been a good line-out win there by Silverstream. Ball goes out to Forbes. Forbes kicks it, but it goes straight into the clutches of Stefano Paesi. And so St. Pat's Town hot on attack again. Got the numbers there. Tier and support. Seal Mangawhai, Ronaldo that is. Strong number 8. He's had a strong game. A strong season all round. Paesi gives it out to number 21, Tafeli. It's a wide pass over the top of Kaya Wilson, who's come on. And it's Herman Siu Mangawhai on the touchline. He's a hard man to bring down. Berry brings him down. Paesi with the ball. Gives it out to number 17, Talai. Silverstream over the ball trying to get it, but they're unsuccessful. Stefano Paesi gives the ball out to his forwards. It's a good patient build-up by St. Pat's Town. Tavita, Tafeli, works it out. 22, Kaya Wilson. Mainly plays fullback, but he's lost that battle to Brown at the fullback jersey, so he'll be playing the wing for this game. St. Pat's Town still in possession of the ball, building a good number of phases. Malachi Tia wearing the pink headgear. He's been brought down by Silverstream. Good charging run. Has been offloaded back to Paesi. But Silverstream have got numbers there. Could this be a penalty? No, it's a penalty against Silverstream. It's a bit of concern here for a St. Pat's Town player. Just believes it must be cramp. Very hard in these conditions as a rugby player. You know, you can wear the long sprigs, but when it's a game as close as this to the intensity, cramp can develop quite easily, Adam.
Well, precisely, Brad, and there is a lot of distress for the injured midfield back, and that's the second 5/8 for St. Pat's Town. This penalty evidently is in the same place that Boston Christie kicked his last 3 points, so Town can close the score to 1. Presently 21-17, 3 tries to 2 in favour of the home team. Rory Willett, the Silverstream halfback, scored the opener. He's been replaced by Toby Crosby. And Silverstream struck twice more, and the try in the second half was scored by Mika Felix, the Year 13 tight head prop. These two schools are brother colleges. Town founded in 1885, have won the Wellington Championship on 7 occasions. Silverstream have won it on 4 occasions. And they also won the Under-19 Championship, which was a precursor to the Premier 1 grade 8 times. And the Under-21 grade was won in 1999. Tim Fairbrother was the head boy and captain of that team. He went on to play for the Hurricanes along with Bernie Upton, who was the lock forward in that team, and Thomas Waldrum, who appeared in the Old Boys game earlier this afternoon, was an English international from that year. St. Pat's Town, very accomplished rugby school. Morris Brownlee, first All Black to be sent off, and a legendary captain, attended the Kilbirnie premises. Jerry Collins, of course, the late great flanker who captained Town in this game in 1998. Town winning a rare victory. So a lot of history shared between these two great outfits as Boston Christie with a penalty attempt that goes to the left. So that's a bad miss for Christie, given he struck the previous one nicely and over. So it's 21-17, and we have about 13 minutes to play.
13 minutes to go, and Silverstream with the restart. They drop out 22. It's rest halfway, and Tia has the ball. It bounces in front of him. He's met by Subble and brought down. Silverstream with the numbers there. Could this be a penalty turnover? No, they have got the ball. 21 there, Tafili playing halfback. Here goes the ball out to, I believe that was Steinhaus there. No, it wasn't Steinhaus. It was number 20, Tia. Tafili pushing the Silverstream players off the ball, but this has been a turnover by the looks of it for Silverstream. A successful breakdown turnover there by Silverstream. They've done that a number of times this second half. Nathan reaching in. It's a high pass there too. But it's got a good break here by, looks like, is that Higgins, Adam? I'm not too sure who it is, but he's nearly managed to get the ball back.
And now St Pat's Town respond to that Silverstream riposte by exiting their 22 by 10 metres. An errant pass has sailed 5 metres backwards, recovered by Town. Silverstream swarm like dogs around a carcass, but they're unable to exhume the pill. St Pat's Town have 75 metres to travel, down by 4, seeking to preserve their unbeaten record this season. Toby Crosby is in 19. He was the gentleman that made the break. That was a dramatic moment for the reserve flanker. It's a penalty for Silverstream. Well, the contention and mess at the breakdown in the second half has favoured the home team there. This one is in a kicking position, although it is close to the sideline. Silverstream will resort to the line out. They have Iramia, the captain, jumping. Beattie has been replaced. But Venter, the South African in 4, is another option. Silverstream have replaced their starting hooker as well. Ignatius Seo is on the field in jersey 16. He's a year 12 student, member of the under 15 side last year, who lost the final to Town. He'll be hoping for that not to repeat. Loose ball, try claimed. Consultation time, but it appears that Venter has scored from the fumble. We await the conversation between the referee and the assistant touch judge. That is a fortuitous strike for Silverstream, if it's to count. The try is awarded, and Silverstream are in prime position to win here. 26-17, Venter has scored.
Wow, that is a vital try for St Pat's Silverstream. It was a loose line out, but they got the ball back, and Venter dotted down and scored. A vital try for St Pat's Silverstream. 26 points to 17 with the kick to come. Rocco Berry lining the ball up. So St Pat's Town a bit stunned by that. They had such a strong first half, St Pat's Town, but this half in particular, they've had long periods with the ball and just haven't managed to crack the Silverstream defence. And Silverstream have really improved at the breakdown and earned a number of good turnovers. As Berry goes through his pattern, eyeing up the centre of the posts. If he extends the lead out here, that's battle stations for St Pat's Town, and he strikes the ball. It is 28 points to 17 here at the Silverstream number 1 on traditional day. It's Old Boys Day. And Silverstream in a vital lead and looking to extend their run of traditional wins. St Pat's Town have not won this traditional since 2010. They last beat Silverstream in a rugby match in 2015. Adam and I were here that day. We've seen many incredible demolitions of Silverstream over the years, but that was the most spectacular.
Well, that was an amazing game, and who could ever forget Chris Moore, the brother of the All Black Asafo Moore, scoring 5 tries, but there's still time left in this one, folks. Town down by 28-17. Can they manufacture a miracle? They're 10 metres out from the 22 and in urgent need of points. A loose pass, though, has been the bane of existence in their second half. Stenhouse, an early try scorer. Lawaki is the tight head prop, held up by Iramia. Lawaki is built like a Sherman tank, but he's really struggled in his clash with Marsoy this afternoon. Feverish tackling by Rossiter Stead on an 18 for Silverstream. His father was briefly the chairman of New Zealand Basketball, another Wairarapa lad in the boarding establishment. Town 10 metres out from the 22. Stenhouse tries the wide kick again. It worked in the first half. The bounce is awkward, but it's covered by Caulfield, and he pivots and wriggles away from his opposite. Wilson shuts it down just outside the 22, and there's an intercept by Boston Christie. It won't count. He was offside. And that epitomises the roulette wheel afternoon that Boston Christie has had. He's kicked a sideline conversion. He's made a dramatic intercept, which almost led to a try. But he's also had a blemish. And that one was a penalty conceded in a promising position. So, things unravelling here for Town. They were down 14-0, but they muscled their way back to 14-all. And in the second half, those mistakes which plagued them so awfully in the first quarter have returned as Silverstream lose yet another player, and that's the Year 12 First 5'8", Lockie Forbes. Well, that's a tragedy for young Forbes because Silverstream have a number of injuries in the back department. Tony Solomona ruled out of this game. Tom Mannix, the son of the coach Tim, would have featured perhaps had he not incurred an injury. So Silverstream, Brad, 28-17 ahead and about 5 minutes to negotiate.
Yes, 5 minutes to go, and can they just cement their place and maybe even score another try or a penalty to really seal the deal against St. Pat's Town? It's a line out here. They should CO to throw the ball into the line out. And it's well contested. St. Pat's Town have got it back. Herman Siamangafai there. The ball. And St. Pat's Town get back to their forward work. They definitely need to score here. If they don't score, it's pretty much game over. Steinhaus out to Tafau. He's looking for Christie, but he takes it himself. And it's a good run there by Samuela Tafau. Tafili playing halfback, gives it off to Malakai Tia. Tia with the ball, the pink headgear. Herman Siu flying five with the ball, but it's been knocked on. Oh, it's not going the way of St. Pat's Town today. St. Pat's Town always find it tough playing here at Silverstream, and the conditions aren't really suiting their game today. It's been a heavy field. They like to use their big forwards, but also their speedsters. And they're not used to playing on these muddy fields. They've had the lucky use of the Evans Bay Park, which for a number of years used to be a bog. And then it became a cabbage patch field for a while where the weeds were out of control. But now it's a stunning field at Evans Bay Park. It holds up well. This coverage brought to you by Huddy Sports in association with the St. Pat's Town Old Boys Association. 28 points to 17. Silverstream over St. Pat's Town, and it's a penalty at scrum time. Going down on their knee was the front row of St. Pat's Town. As well as contesting at the breakdown well in the second half, Adam, the Silverstream scrum has been outstanding today. This really could be where the winning of the game for Silverstream has come from, because they've been pretty good in their set phases.
Extremely impressive scrum from Silverstream today. They've won 3 penalties from the scrum in the second half and really demolished a much larger Town front row. Town with some technical issues to address before the finals, and this is a very significant result in the local championship, Brad. Silverstream, if they hang on to win here, will collect 5 points and move ahead of St. Pat's Town, who will essentially replace Silverstream in 4th. Silverstream will briefly go top with Scots College and Rongotai College, who Silverstream play next Wednesday with a game in hand. Silverstream have the ball 40 metres out from the line. Iramia has been a towering presence this afternoon, tackled by Tapili. 40 metres out from the line. Charlie Nathan, the reserve halfback, has been inspiring, along with most of the Silverstream reserves. We saw the break by Crosby and some vigorous defence by Ross Itterstead. The return of Higgins has been instrumental, and that's an intelligent kick. Well taken by Wilson, trying to engineer a miraculous attack for Town, but Silverstream shut it down promptly and then concede a penalty. So 28-17 is the score in favour of Silverstream. 4 tries to 2. Town can feel aggrieved by the fortuitous ricochet which led to the try by Venter, Brad, but you make your own luck, and this afternoon Town have been unusually imprecise.
Yeah, well, they have been. We saw them play last week against Matakura, and we're quite impressed by them. It wasn't their full-strength team, but they had definitely good depth in their first 15, and based on the teams this season, you would probably say that St. Pat's Town would have been the stronger out of the two Catholic Marist Fathers schools. But today, Silverstream have finally addressed some of their issues that they've been experiencing in a number of their games, in particular injuries and bad health. But they are here today and they're playing fantastic rugby. As Town about to feed the ball into the line out. It's been won there by number 18, Brandon Young. Steinhaus gives it off to Samuela Tafau. Herbert Silverfire back to Tafau. It's got out to 13, Christie. And Brown on the wing. He offloads it, looking for options. It's a loose pass. The Town still have the ball. Steinhaus with the ball, but no. Referee Sargentina has ruled a forward pass. So Silverstream will have another scrum here. Town, they're trying to play that open, fast game, but it's not working today on this very soft field.
No, it isn't. They were sluggish to start, down 14-0, and then they resorted to their strength, which is the close quarter forward raids, managed to establish parity by half-time, but in the second half they've made far too many errors, and the fullback Ferretti, Arne Brown, has had a very rough afternoon. He was clean bowled for the second try by Rocco Berry, and he made a fumble there trying to ignite something. The other problem for St. Pat's Town today is their most damaging ball runner, Herman Siumanu-Whangai, has hardly been involved, and Siumanu-Whangai is in the representative system. He needs to involve himself more urgently. The selectors will be watching his performance today. This is a nationally televised game, and he's hardly been involved. A disappointing performance from Siumanu-Whangai.
And it's also an internationally televised game here on Huddy Sports. It's free. It's not like Sky Sport. You just have to find us on Facebook, and away you go. As Silverstream have the ball, Berry gives it out there to his back line. It's a jersey 16, CO. CO gives it out to number 11, Rayhana Dalton. And Dalton scores a vital try for Silverstream. That seals the deal. And this traditional St. Pat's Town's misery in traditionals continues. And Silverstream score through the winger and the key McKivity jumper, Dalton.
Well, that's a wonderful compliment to the Silverstream reserves, that try. The larger numbers from the bench were the ones involved in transferring the ball to the winger Dalton to expertly finish. CO in jersey 16 has done a really good job since replacing the starting hooker. Silverstream have managed to maintain the ascendancy at scrum time, and they've been tight on defence in the second half. St. Pat's Town have only scored 3 points in the last 35 minutes, and suddenly, Brad, that scoreline of 33-17 looks pretty convincing. This is a fine win for Silverstream, back from the school holidays and back at the top of the table.
Well, a vital win indeed. It was a bit doom and gloom for them after their loss to Scots. They had a lot of players out injured and sick, and they got a big score put on them that day. But they responded here well today against St. Pat's Town in this traditional at home. Berry kicks the ball, it curves, and it's just scattered past the posts. So the score here, 33 points to 17. Not long to go.
And on behalf of the Simpats Silverstream and Simpats Town Association, I'd like to send my condolences to Wellington College for not making the top 4 this year.
And also the title of the Dub C is also gone to Wairarapa College. So Wellington College have lost that honour as we're back underway. Kaya Wilson restarts us, and Peter Lakai, he's had a good game, but he's just knocked that ball on. Okay, and it's going to be brought up for a knock-on and a scrub for St. Pat's Town. Can St. Pat's Town finish off with a bit of pride here, Adam, and earn a try? But they haven't really looked like scoring a try in this half of rugby.
No, it's been a disappointing display by St. Pat's Town, but they're a good team, and sometimes when you're unbeaten, a setback can be the best thing to happen in your season. Town will go back to the drawing board and try and rectify some of the issues from this match, and their biggest issues have been the scrum, the lack of involvement of Herman Siumanufanga, who's finally appeared in the midfield directly behind the first receiver, and also their elementary mistakes, Brad. You just can't make the number of mistakes that Town have made and expect to win big traditional games. As Herman Siumanufanga shows his value at last, Simpats Town venturing close to the line and gaining some consolation.
Well, where has that been in this second half of this traditional? St. Pat's Town running back. They still sense time of this game. We'll try and figure out who that try scorer was. But it was a vital try for St. Pat's Town. Their first of this half. Boston Christie lining up a vital conversion. He strikes the ball. And it's over. So it's 33-24 in this traditional. Still time to play. But St. Pat's Town, Adam, definitely needed to score a try there.
Well, and if they can score one more, they'll actually attain 2 points in the championship standings, one for a 4-try bonus point and one for finishing inside 7. We're advised by Craig, our refereeing expert in the bunker, that this is close to the last play as the restart is made by Higgins, and he's almost found the touchline. Town scramble to keep it in. Kaya Wilson advances to within 10 of halfway. Can St. Pat's Town finish with a flourish? Mitchell Southall involved in that defensive sequence, and now Town stretch the ball to the backs. We've hardly seen their backs involved this afternoon, and that's perhaps why a poor pass floats into touch, and that's a painful place to be when you're an opposition player in front of those rowdy Silverstream supporters when things are going astray for you. 33 to 24 is the score. So Silverstream will extend their winning run in this traditional to a decade. That's 2 generations of Town boys who have never won this match.
It's almost like Australia not winning the Bledisloe Cup, Adam. A very similar statistic. We just try to see Silverstream have the ball at the back. They give it out there to number 17, Jonah Bartley. They march it up forward. Number 20, Charlie Nathan, reaching in to get the ball. He gives the ball out to his number 18, Rossiter Stead. Rossiter Stead, whose father was chairman of New Zealand Basketball, previously worked as the media person at Wellington Rugby. And that's a penalty against Silverstream. Not rolling out of the breakdown. So St. Pat's Town still have an opportunity to earn those bonus points. Time almost up on the clock. And this Huddy Sports coverage associated from the St. Pat's Town Old Boys Association. And the ball has not found touch. And he's just got to put the ball into touch, Dalton. And that is full time here at Silverstream. Silverstream continue their decade of dominance in the first 15 rugby traditionals, winning 33 points to 24. A great display by Silverstream at the breakdown of the second half and at scrum time. Huddy Sports has been brought to you by the All Boys Association of St. Patrick's College, Wellington and Town. This coverage has been watched to the UK, believe it or not, and even in Perth. Adam, your thoughts on the game?
Well, hello to our international viewers, and thanks for joining us this afternoon. It's a beautiful day at the old school. Silverstream have beaten Town by 33-24. It was an entertaining game that featured 8 tries. Silverstream started like millionaires and were out by 14-0 at one point. Town then resorted to the strength and size of their forwards to restore parity by the interval. But the second half really saw the pendulum swing in favour of Silverstream. There was a fantastic try scored by Mika Felix, the tight head prop, who was one of the best on display this afternoon, and 3 for Silverstream. St Pat's Town kicked a penalty to close it to 21-17, and then there was a fortuitous try for Venter. And sometimes when those fumbles spill your way, you know it's going to be your afternoon, and Silverstream really applied the exclamation mark when the winger Dalton crossed for the 5th try. Town managed a late consolation score at the end, but they derive nothing from this game, beaten soundly 33-24. So Silverstream, with Rongotai to play next week, head to the top of the Premiership. This is the penultimate round of the Premiership, and St Pat's Town with some work to do if they're going to earn home semi-final rights. They have Scholarship College in the last round, so that's going to be a hard assignment for St Pat's Town. But it's been a real pleasure to bring you these pictures and commentary, and I'd like to thank our young cameraman Ruben. He's a Year 9 student with a lot of promise, and as I say, girls, sign him up quickly for the ball. He's worth it.
And thank you to Alan Julian for his expert commentary today. This coverage brought to you by Harley Sports in partnership with the St Pat's Old Boys Association. I'm Brad Hudson. Thank you very much for watching.